President Trump says he's watching the hurricane closely. He's issued emergency declarations for Florida, Puerto Rico, and the Virgin Islands. And this afternoon, he's going to head to North Dakota to push for tax reform as he faces backlash over his decision to phase out protections for the Dreamers, the nearly 800,000 undocumented immigrants who came to the U.S. as children. A lot of pressure now on Congress to step in and save the protections. And our senior White House correspondent, Cecilia Vega, is in Washington with all the fallout from the president's decision. Good morning, Cecilia.
George, good morning to you. Fallout across the country. That is what the president is waking up to this morning. He had given Congress a 6-month deadline to come up with a fix for these Dreamers. But now it seems like he's saying he may not be entirely leaving this up to Congress after all. Overnight, President Trump said he's not done with the Dreamers just yet. After initially punting to Congress to make the next move, he tweeted, "Congress now has 6 months to legalize DACA, something the Obama administration was unable to do. If they can't, I will revisit this issue." This on the heels of fierce backlash over his plan to rescind protections for those nearly 800,000 undocumented immigrants brought to this country as children. Protests from Chicago to Albuquerque to right outside the White House. Some Republicans, like Lindsey Graham, saying the president has to do more than push this off on Capitol Hill.
My challenge to the president is that you've talked very glowingly about these kids. Help us. Get involved personally. Work the phones. Try to find a consensus here.
President Trump insists he is acting with compassion.
Well, I have a great heart for the folks we're talking about, a great love for them.
But his attorney general struck a much different tone, calling Dreamers illegal aliens who take American jobs.
We cannot admit everyone who would like to come here. It's just that simple.
It was enough to bring 2 former presidents back into the spotlight. President Obama called the move to rescind DACA cruel, wrong, and self-defeating, saying ultimately this is about basic decency. President Clinton called it irresponsible, passing the buck instead of offering sensible solutions for immigration reform. The message from the White House: there's no guarantee those Dreamers are safe from deportation. The president says that Dreamers won't be a priority for enforcement, but that's not a guarantee of protection. Is this White House willing to offer one?
Those are certainly, again, they're not a targeted priority, but the goal here is that Congress actually fixes the problem, and then that isn't an issue.
Leaving people like Nayeli Lopez terrified about what comes next. Do you envision your life in another country?
I don't. This is my home since I was 13 years old, and yes, Mexico is in my heart, and it's my land too, but this is my home.
Yeah, among the opponents to this move, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, it says that rescinding DACA is bad for the American economy and is, quote, contrary to fundamental American principles. So now it's up to Congress. They've already got a full plate on their front burner, funding the government and preventing a default. George, immigration reform is not at the top of their list right now.
And of course, this has been on their agenda for years. And Cecilia, you talk about everything else on the congressional agenda right now. On top of that, you have the recovery from Hurricane Harvey. This new Hurricane Irma is hitting. And the Federal Disaster Fund runs out of money on Friday.
It does. The clock is ticking. The House will vote today on this relief for Harvey, nearly $8 billion package. It's expected to go forward there, but it could likely hit a roadblock in the Senate there, George, if in fact this is tied to debt ceiling, to raising the debt ceiling.
Yeah, the big questions about that. They're going to be meeting on that today with the president. Cecilia Vega, thanks very much. Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.